Hey friends, Chief Meteorologist Shane Smith here from WYMT-TV in Hazard, Kentucky. If you're clicking on this video, happen to stumble upon it on YouTube, just want to say thanks for stopping by. Going to talk a little weather for eastern Kentucky tonight, and looking at the potential for some wintry weather. Late Sunday night, Super Bowl Sunday into Monday morning, and a lot of folks have been talking about the storm potentially Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, but this one may have a little bit more impact. And it's definitely starting to look pretty interesting. A lot of agreement now between the models, and we're getting a better idea of how this may play out, but there's still some questions we've got to answer, so let's get right to it. Going to start things off with the NAM model. This is the North American Mesoscale model, good for short-range forecasting Sunday morning, and it's showing rain moving into eastern Kentucky, and that rain will continue off and on throughout the day. Could be a little bit heavy at times. Then as we go into around 8 o'clock on Super Bowl Sunday, also Groundhog's Day, the model is beginning to show a little bit of a changeover, but notice the freezing line still back up around I-64, so even though we change over, it may take a little bit for accumulation to start, but I think at that point we've at least got snow or a little wintry mix flying. Now by 2 a.m. we're going to see most of the region in snow. The cold air is going to be funneling in at full force at that time. Snow could be a little bit heavy at times according to this model, and it's got agreement with other models. Now check it out, we go forward to around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Notice that orange showing up in eastern Kentucky and along the Virginia border and through southern West Virginia. That would be the potential for some heavy snow. We're talking some pretty impressive snowfall rates if that were to play out, and then we move the snow out by lunchtime. Now, does that mean this model's correct? No, that's one model's opinion, but we look at several computer models when forecasting. Now we're going to take a look at the other major American model, the GFS. That's the Global Forecasting System, and this one's showing something similar. Starting off again Sunday morning, 7 a.m., rain across eastern Kentucky. Heading out to those Sunday morning services, it is going to be on the soggy side, but as we transition into the evening and that cold air wraps into this storm coming in from the southwest, we'll see a change over to wintry mix or snow. But here's where things begin to get a little bit interesting and, quite frankly, a little bit troubling compared to some of the other models. It's showing a little warm air creeping in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So instead of a change over to full snow, we may have to deal with freezing rain, especially close to the Kentucky and Tennessee border. And some of the other models are hinting at this as well. So what we're looking at right now, the percentage chance of precipitation is starting to become very high. It's just, do we see snow? Do we see freezing rain? Do we see both? And how much? Monday, 8 a.m., a lot of pink over southern and eastern Kentucky. That's not good. That's freezing rain. And that could be a bit of freezing rain. We could be talking upwards of 1/10 of an inch in some locations, and that would cause a lot of problems before that system moved on out by the afternoon. Now, does that mean this model's right? No, not necessarily, but you've got two models showing similar solutions. Now I want to go to some graphics from the Weather Prediction Center. That's a branch of the National Weather Service. This first one shows the percentage chance of 1/10 of an inch of freezing rain on Monday morning, and that's showing a 10 to 20% chance. I know that doesn't sound like much, but compared on most days we have a 0% chance. That's enough to get me a little concerned. Now here's the percentage of at least 1 inch of snow, and that's showing most of southern and eastern Kentucky at least in a 50 to 60% chance. So I think at this point we're going to see some kind of wintry precipitation, but that is something we'll have to keep an eye on. And also, a change in the track of this storm by around 50 miles can cause a world of difference. Let's skip ahead for just a second, take a look at the Tuesday-Wednesday system. Now it's looking like we'll see rain on Wednesday. That's kind of what we were thinking originally. Once again, here's the GFS model showing plenty of rain, 8 o'clock Wednesday morning. We go into Wednesday evening as that cold air wraps in. We may go over to a bit of snow. Also, something I didn't show, Tuesday night when the precipitation starts, may start as a little bit of freezing rain. The model's going back and forth about that. So still some details to work out about this storm. So kind of wrap things up, we'll get into more detail with the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday storm after we get through this first one. And honestly, I'm more concerned about this first one right now than I am the one for next week. I know that was the one that generated all the hoopla on social media the last couple of days, but this one for Sunday night, Super Bowl Sunday into Monday, looks like it has the potential to be more of an impact maker than our second storm system. And here's what I'm thinking of right now. Definitely looks like a chance of some kind of frozen precipitation Sunday night into Monday. The track of the storm, the intensity of the storm, that is going to play a big factor into what we see. I think at this point some kind of frozen precipitation looks to be a good bet, but if the storm tracks a little bit further north, we may get into plain rain, or at least not as much of a chance of the freezing rain. That's the thing we don't want to see. Snow we can handle. Yes, it's going to be a bit of a pain. Yes, it's going to cause some problems. But freezing rain will cause a lot more problems than the snow. So this is something we will closely monitor for the weekend. I'll be making updates on my Facebook page and Twitter page. Brandon Orr will be here in the Sky Alert Weather Center bringing you updates to a forecast, and we will keep an eye on it, and we'll let you know what we're thinking. We should have a call map out for how exactly we expect it to play out, either late tomorrow or early Sunday, but the bottom line is this. I would start considering preparing for the potential of a little bit of wintry weather that could definitely cause some travel impacts Sunday night after 8 o'clock through Monday morning. So just be ready for that, and keep it locked here for more weather updates with WYMT.